Good morning everyone. This is Standard 6 Science video number 2. In this video we are going to study about the function of flowers. Okay, in the last video we have studied about the structure of flower. Let's discuss some brief notes on the flower. Okay, what are flowers? The plants that have flowers are called flowering plant first. Okay, and flowers are the attractive part of the flowering plant. Okay, all flowers are not the same. They may differ in size, shape, color and fragrance. Okay, flowers like hibiscus, dahlia have bright colors. Rose flower has colors as well as fragrance. Okay, flowers like jasmine have excellent fragrance. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the few points on the structure, that four main parts of the flower. Okay, first one is sepals, second one is petals, third one is a stamen and the pistil. Okay, and we know that the stamen is the male part of the flower and pistil is the female part of the flower. Another name of pistil is carpel. Yes, what are the functions of flower? Okay, first function you can see here. Okay, flowers produces fruits and seeds. This is the fruits. Okay, and the seed inside you can see here. This is produced by the flowers. Okay, and these fruits and seeds are formed in the flower by the process known as pollination and fertilization. Pollination we will discuss in the just now. Okay, now let's see. Yes, second function is that flowers are the reproductive organs of the plant. Just now I have said that stamen and pistil, these are the two reproductive organs of the plant. Stamen, okay, you can see here this stamen. Okay, this is the stamen. Okay, this stamen is the male reproductive organ of the plant. It has two parts, that is anther. Here you can see this is the anther. Okay, this part is anther, and the other part, okay, the swollen part, okay, tip of the stamen are called anther, and the stalk of a stamen is called filament. You can see here, this is the stalk, that is called filament. Okay, and another anther contains a pollen grains. Here you can see the pollen grain is there. Okay, pollen grains contains the male gametes. Okay, pollen grain appears as a yellowish powdery substance. Okay, now come to the pistil. Okay, here you can see in the middle it is pistil. Okay, in the middle it is pistil. You can see here in the middle it is pistil. Okay, pistil is the female reproductive organ of the plant. This is also called carpel. Another name of the pistil is carpel. Okay, and it is made up of three parts. Okay, that you can see here: stigma, style and ovary. Upper part is the stigma, in the lower part, in the middle part is a style, and the lower part it is a ovary. Okay, now the swelling part of the bottom of the pistil is ovary. You know the ovary contains ovules. Okay, here you can see ovary contains ovules. Each ovules, okay, produces female gametes. Okay, each ovules contains only one female gametes called egg. Now we are going to read about the pollination. Okay, that pollination is the mechanism of the sexual reproduction. Okay, what is pollination? Transfer of pollen grains. This is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Okay, that is stigma of a pistil is called pollen grains. Okay, you can see here, this is pollen grains. Pollen grains, just now I have said, it is found in the stamen, okay, in the anther part. These pollen grains, by means of different modes, like here you can see the fly is there, okay, bee is there, they sit on this flower, and in the leg the pollen grains stick, and this is called pollinator. Okay, one who helps in the pollination is pollinator or agent of pollination. Okay, these pollen grains, when these bees sit on the another flower or same flower, the same plant of the flower, on the stigma, okay, that is pollen grains go to the ovary from the style, okay, that is called pollination. Again I am saying the transfer of pollen grains. Okay, here you can see the transfer of pollen grain is occur from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Okay, now the pollination can occur in two ways. I have not stated here, but the important point is here, so I am discussing. Okay, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. What is self-pollination? When the pollen grains from anther of a flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower. Okay, means same flower. Okay, that is called self-pollination. And another type of pollination is called cross-pollination. What is called cross-pollination? When the pollen grains from the anther of a flower of one plant are transferred to the stigma of a flower of another plant of same kind. Here the same kind of plants are there, but different plants are there from anther to stigma. Okay, the pollen grains are being transferred, that is called cross-pollination. Okay, generally the pollen grains have tough protective coat which prevent them from drying. Okay, pollination always requires some agents to carry pollen grains and release them on the stigma. Okay, so some agents are there. Okay, now I am making you see the agents. Wait. Now here you can see these agents may be insects. Okay, these agents may be birds. These agents, other animals may be wind or water may be. Okay, first one we are going to read about the pollination by insect. Okay, what is pollination by insect? When pollination is accomplished by any insects. Okay, many insects are there, that bee, butterfly, moths feed on the nectar of the flowers. Few insects are attracted by the color and odor of flowers. Okay, when these insects, okay, here you can see, when these insects visit the flower, the pollen grains from the anther stick to the bodies, and when these insects sits on another flower, these pollen grains get rubbed off, causing the pollination. You can see here these insects sitting here and they are moving to this place. Okay, this here the bees stick the to the pistil of on another flower. Okay, that is pollination by insects. Second one is the pollination by wind. Okay, pollination by wind. Okay, here the pollination by wind, when the pollen grains mature, the anther breaks, okay, break open to release them. Okay, now pollen grains are ready to release. The blowing air, the coming air, okay, wind carries mature pollen grains from one flower to another flower with the and helps in the pollination. Wind pollinated flowers are found in the plants such as grass, okay, wheat, corn, sugarcane, rice and maize. Okay, wind pollinated flowers are usually born in clusters. They do not have sepals and petals and also do not produce nectar. They have long and sticky feathery stigma to easily trap the pollen grains. Okay, these flowers produces a large amount of pollen grains which are light and non-sticky. Okay, just as I have said, by the help of wind, pollen grains transform from anther to stigma. Okay, this is the pollination by wind. Now, another is pollination by water. When pollination is accomplished by water, okay, and it mainly occurs in the Vallisneria. Okay, I have given the example here. Okay, you can see. Yes. Now, the pollinations in the aquatic plant is generally done by water. Okay, the water current carry mature pollen grains from one flower. Okay, to the one flower to the stigma of another flower. Okay, the water current carry mature pollen grains from one flower to another and helps in pollination. Okay, pollination in aquatic plants such as Vallisneria and Hydrilla is carried out by water. Now, pollination by bird. Okay, when pollination is accompanied by bird. Okay, example in the bottle brush. What happens when the birds come to take nectar of a flower? Okay, in his beak some pollen grains from the anther stick there, and when they go for the another flower to suck the nectar, what happens? The sticked pollen grains, okay, they go and find their path in the stigma of another flower. Okay, this is the pollination by bird. Thank you. This is Standard 6 Science video number 3. In this video, we are going to read about the seed and their structure. Okay, first, what is seed? Seed is a reproductive unit, okay, which grows into a new plant in a suitable condition. Okay, a seed contains embryo and cotyledon having stored fruit for its development. Okay, in a normal way, if we say that a seed is a small, round or oval object produced by a plant, and from which when it is put into the soil, after getting a suitable condition, new plants can grow. That is seed. Now come to the structure of seed. Okay, we know that flowers develop into fruits and fruits contains seed. Okay, this is the structure of seed. Okay, this is the structure of seed. Now see very carefully that a seed has a baby plant inside. Okay, enclosed safely within. Here it is a baby plant, it has, okay, safe closely inside. Okay, the outermost part of a seed is called the seed coat or testa. This is the outermost part of a seed is called seed testa. What is the function of seed testa? Okay, that it protects the seed from being damaged. Okay, and seed of flowering plants has one or two seed leaves, that is cotyledons. Okay, now come to the hilum. What is hilum? Here in the seed you can see in the middle portion, any seed you will see there is a hilum. What is hilum? There is a small pore called hilum present on the seed coat that helps the seed to absorb water. Okay, the outermost covering testa, this is plumule, this is radicle, and these two are the cotyledons. Okay, now Now here you can see the cotyledons. What these cotyledons do, these cotyledons store food for the baby plant. Okay, the food stored is used by baby plant till it grows the first green leaves. Now cotyledon just now you have seen here. Okay, inside the seed coat is present the seed leaves or cotyledon. What this cotyledon do? They store food which is supplied to a baby plant or embryo. Okay, now we will read about the radicals and plumule. That is very important. Okay, what is radical or plumule? Okay, the part of embryo of a seed bearing plant that develops into the main root. Here you can see the seed when get a proper condition. First of all, the radicals grow inside, downside. Okay, downside it grows. Okay, and this radical develops into the embryonic root. Okay, developed into the root. Now after that, from the seed the plumules grow. Okay, thus one part grows upside and one part grows downside. Downside which grows is called radical. Okay, and radical develops into root system and plumule grows upside. Okay, against the gravity that plumules develop into the shoot system. Okay, give rise to shoot. Okay, so here I have also shown this. This is cotyledon, this is plumule, and downside it is radical. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the two main types of seed. Okay, some seeds of some plants like gram, beans, okay, maize, okay, have two seed leaves. Okay, that is we will discuss about in the dicot. Okay, we will discuss about the dicot. Now first we will see about the monocot. Okay, let's see about the monocot. What is monocot? Monocot have one seed leaf inside is called inside the seed coat is called monocots. What are the examples? That example is maize, wheat, rice, and when you will see inside the seed you will see one seed leaf. Okay, that is called monocotyledon seed. Okay, now second one is dicot. The dicot. What is dicot? Some of the seeds like pea, beans, grams. Okay, these seeds have the two seed leaves. Okay, dicotyledon seed is classification of flowering plant where the seed possess two embryonic leaves or cotyledons. Okay, here you can see this is the one cotyledon, this is the another cotyledon. It means dicotyledons, two cotyledons, and it is found in the pea plant, pea seed, beans and grams. Okay, now here you can see some of the differences there in the monocot and dicot. Okay, in case of monocot you can see one cotyledon is there. Okay, in case of dicot two cotyledon is there. In the monocot the roots are fibrous. In the dicot the roots are tap root. Okay, and in the monocot vasculars are in the arranged way. Here also you can see in the leaf are in the parallel veins. Okay, in dicot leaves are in the dicot you can see net like veins are there, that is reticulate. Okay, in the monocot the flowers are okay in the multiple of 3. Okay, here you can see, and here the flowers are in the multiple of 4 or 5. Okay, this is the basic difference between the monocot and dicot. Here I have given the concept map for the revision for the this chapter, that is getting to know the plants. You can read this, and from the short time you can take advantage of too much things here. You can take a knowledge of from the deep from this concept map. Thank you.